I'm Atlantic City Weekly columnist David Spatz, also the host of Curtain Call on NBC 40. Hey, for months you've heard all the hype about Boardwalk Empire, the new series premiering on HBO. Well, tonight we're at the Atlantic City premiere of Boardwalk Empire. We're in the Forum Lounge at Caesars Atlantic City. Stand by. You're going to meet the cast of what's about to be the hottest new show on television.
Tonight's obviously the premiere of the Boardwalk Empire, and it makes sense that the Caesars Empire is hosting the Boardwalk Empire, and I think this show is going to be one of the most amazing things to happen to Atlantic City in a very long time. People nationally are going to get a chance to see what Atlantic City was in the 20s, and hopefully they'll come visit it and get turned on to the series and watch it and want to come here, and not just from Philadelphia, New York, but from all over the country. So we're very excited about getting some publicity out there locally and nationally tonight and showing people how great the show is. So tonight we have several of the cast members, the producers, the executives from HBO that are here to do the initial screening of the Boardwalk Empire. I think it's going to be well received. It's going to be something that's going to be a national TV show that people are going to want to watch and hopefully become more interested in coming to Atlantic City. And after they get into the show a little bit, people that have never been here, I hope, will come here and really help stimulate our economy.
Steve Levinson and his partner Mark Wahlberg produced Entourage for HBO. They optioned Nelson's book, I believe, a few years ago, gave it to HBO. HBO gave it to me, and they said, why don't you read this book, see if you think there's a TV series in there. And they said, oh, by the way, if you see something, Martin Scorsese is attached to this. And I said, I guarantee you I will find a TV series in here. I read the book, loved it, absolutely enthralling. I was a big history buff anyway, and grew up in Brooklyn and spent a fair amount of time here in the 80s as a younger man. And it was just so vivid and just painted such a picture of the city, and just felt like it took me back in time. And the era that I was fascinated with was the 1920s, when Nucky Johnson ran this town, and he was such an incredible character upon which to base a show. And everything that was happening in 1920 was just, it's so rich. The war just ended, women got the right to vote, Prohibition, of course, which led us into the gangsters of the era. It was just had everything for the makings of a show, and I knew immediately we had something really special. I need more friends like Nelson Johnson to give me great books to make TV series out of.
It's a catch-22. It's good to play someone fictional, but also it's fun to play someone who the history is there to back it up.
So either of you or both of you know about the history of Atlantic City. I'm talking about Prohibition.
I knew absolutely nothing until I read the book, actually.
What did you think after you read the book?
Wow. A lot of history, and what went down here in Atlantic City, actually, it spilled over into New York. It all kind of coincides.
I think I agree. The 1920s is an amazing time. It's like the 60s. There was just something in the water, and the politics, and and the criminals, and the civil rights movement, and the feminist movement. It's just something in the water at that time. Everything went upside down.
I was really excited by the challenge of having to really research something, because I don't even have any living relatives who were around at that point. So to really have to do a lot of research on a time and a place and what was happening for women was very interesting.
It was an interesting period in women's rights, because the suffrage movement was pretty much born in Atlantic City.
Exactly. There's a suffragette movement. My character is a bohemian painter, and so there was a small movement, but of women painters happening around Atlantic City and Philadelphia. And then just sort of what was happening for women with sexual liberation and stuff like that. So it's really a pivotal time for women.
I got lucky because they changed my name just slightly. So it sort of released us, I think, from any sort of real serious history digging, because there truthfully wasn't that much to find about Mickey Duffy, who was the original guy. But I guess it also means that they can sort of kill me whenever they want. Even though he survives into the 30s, I could go down much sooner. But no, it's very interesting. This era is sort of the lawlessness, and yet the fact that these people are peacocks, and the fashion is beautiful, and they're big characters. They're scrappy people who sort of come from a lot of the sort of proletariat type people who are just trying to make their way in a very uncharted sort of area. It's extremely interesting.
I had no idea. All I knew was that Martin Scorsese had cast me, and that is like a dream come true. So I was completely happy with that on its own. And Ellen Lewis cast me, and she's incredible, and I worked with her, and I really understood Lucy, and I really knew I could play this complex character.